Yeah, man.
Brain Candy.
Brain Candy.
Episode 845.
What if
Sarah,
that was our intro?
Louise.
Yes.
Butler, Meister.
Yes. Yes. Remember when you thought I didn't know your ex-husband's name? And then I got it, and then you were like, whoa.
Well,
I did.
okay.
And then I was like, does she like not even know that I know her?
Oh, shut the fuck up. I want to like release this video because the actual way it happened was not like, what, Suze? It's such and such. You were absolutely stumped.
I was like, oh my God. No, it was like on the tip of my tongue thing. I had that where I was like,
yeah, like I know it.
I know. I've like said this name 1,000 times, and then I couldn't get the nickname that somebody else had for somebody else in your life, and that out of my head, and so it was like a whole thing. Yeah.
Well, what happened was I had said the name of her ex-father-in-law and her ex's current baby child's name.
Yes.
And I had an edible an hour before that, and so I
very
was
important to
really
note.
impressed with my own mental agility and acumen. And then I realized, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I bet you she can't even name my ex-husband.
Like, there's no right.
And I feel like the only reason you even got there was because that chat and that.
No, I was right. Name. I was right there. And the last name wasn't in the chat, and I knew that.
No, but that's what sparked it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It was in my brain. I just needed the
I knew it was
spark.
In there. I never doubted that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got there, and
we did.
I still feel like I proved my point because I am hopped up on edibles.
Yeah,
and
you definitely did.
The relatives, the extended families.
Right. It is amazing.
Do you feel like you could name all my siblings?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Paul, David, Gretchen, Renee.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
I was like 50-50 on that
right.
one. I wasn't sure.
You want me to do it right now? What else? Like,
why do I underestimate you? So
I know.
rude.
It's fair.
I'm so sorry.
I know. This is kind of the fear everybody has. Like, this is always the fear that, like, I've, like, played that scenario over. Like, what if Susie, like, one day quizzes me on that? It's the same as, like, what if I wear a band shirt and somebody asks me, like, what are my three and, like, I panic, you know? Because the other day when I was at water polo, somebody asked me where I played water polo in high school, panicked, didn't have an answer. And then I was like, this sounds like I'm lying because I don't know where I went to high school, Susie. I had trouble pulling out where I went to high school.
I hear you. Yeah, you're right. And it's unfair for us to do this because you have like, I don't know if you'd call it a disability or
I would.
Like, especially under pressure sometimes. It can be hard. So I apologize. I stand corrected. I underestimated you.
Thank you.
And I didn't give you enough credit.
Well, you know what? I live for.
You're like, I love where this is going.
Yeah, this is so far my favorite episode.
Right, because it does take a lot for me to be like, fine.
Right. Like,
you knew it.
Like, damn, I tried. But I guess we will win a newlyweds game.
I know. I've been thinking of that too, because you know we're Sarah and I are hoping to do some live events, and I was going to have Dahlia, my niece and assistant, create like questions for us.
I mean,
right?
People will enjoy this.
It's a hoot.
It is so funny. I mean, it's funny to me.
What if every answer I just said in the butt, Bob? Just remember that. Like if I can't think of an answer, I'll really put that.
Okay. Well, yeah, facts. We're the best at any and all games. The end.
The end.
Yeah.
What do those kids say? Like period T?
Yeah. Period. No cap.
But do you say like period T or do you just say period?
What, period T? Well, that sounds like something that I should be drinking around that time of the month. Please. That is not a thing kids are saying. Is it really? Are we serious?
Sarah, I don't know if there's...
No. You're the one with the child. You think I'm going to know?
No, it's not those kinds of kids. It's like girls online will write period and then they'll put the letter T at the end of the word connected to the word period.
Oh, like period. Like we're saying it like that. That's like period.
That's what I meant. Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I was like, why is everyone
I
writing
see what you're
period
saying.
T?
Yeah. I'm saying period.
This is rock bottom for
Yeah.
me.
No,
How did you know that's what they meant?
I think that might be thing if you are privy to Black Twitter, you might know a little more about that.
But how I can understand because that's who I'm talking about, but
Yeah.
how would you know how they say it?
Because I'm on Black Twitter.
But you can't hear them.
Yeah, but I can. I have heard.
You know the tone.
People.
You know what they're saying. Okay.
Yes, I've heard people use this. Susie,
Period.
I listen to hip hop music. I know.
I
like
stopped
Charlemagne
listening
in the
after
morning,
Motown's heyday. And
Right.
then everything went to hell. All right. I'll tell you what didn't go to hell. And that's my finances.
Oh.
And that's because of Rocket Money.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying?
Suze, I would be interested to see. Let's look. You know where they say how much time you spend on the apps?
Uh-oh.
Let's play this
Yeah.
game because
play it.
I love Rocket Money so freaking much. And
It's changing lives, Sarah.
it absolutely is. I feel like it is so helpful. Oh, yeah. 123 is the 4th most used app on my phone.
That's so great.
Hulu, Instagram, because I watch TV at nighttime, Instagram, Safari, Rocket Money.
That's amazing.
Yep.
And the reason she's friggin' using it is because it's so useful and it really does help you get a sense for where your money's going, where you can save. They negotiate lower bills for you. They tell you if you have weird subscriptions that you probably aren't even aware of or aren't using.
Yep.
And all sorts of things that help you get your money in order.
I am looking to buy a new car.
Yes.
And I really wanted to get my budget down
Buttoned
and
up, yeah.
really know how much I spend. It tells me how much I spend on groceries, on dining and drinks each month, so I can look like, is this affordable right now? Am I going out to dinner all the time? And could I be getting a new car and all this stuff? So it has helped me so much in making big
empowering.
financial decisions. And it's like having my own little personal advisor in my pocket.
Yes, they have over 5 million users and they've saved a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's features. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/braincandy. That's rocketmoney.com/braincandy, rocketmoney.com/braincandy.
Yeah.
It's always funny when people don't think we actually use this stuff.
Oh, that's why I had to put, I'm like, last night I was on
receipts.
there for a long time because I love categorizing things. I love when it says that, oh,
This
you
is
want
like you
to add a
talking dirty to
category
me.
to this? You want to make this tax deductible? Would you like to apply that to the other 25 transactions that also share this same name? Yes, I would. Boom. I am so ready for tax season.
She
Fucking
is-
do this shit. Okay.
Oh,
anyways,
yes.
pumped.
Okay, I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Did you know that there's a Baywatch documentary out?
Oh my gosh. No, and I have to watch it. Remember?
Oh, I
have,
remember.
Yeah, I have personal beef with a Baywatch babe.
Okay, so I texted my sister Gretchen and I was like, I'm so excited for the Baywatch documentary. And she goes, yeah, especially now we found out that Hobie sniffed all their bathing suits. That kid was in there sniffing
God!
Pam's.
He was a pervy weirdo. Okay,
Well, he was
it
14.
makes sense.
They're
Makes
all
sense.
pervy weirdos. But
yeah, that's true. That is so true.
So if you didn't listen to this episode, Sarah at one point a couple years ago revealed
Yes.
that she had an encounter with
Yes.
Hobie.
Yes.
His name is Jeremy Jackson or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
And if
Yes.
I remember correctly,
Yes.
it involved
Oh
negging
my God,
you
yes.
for your weight.
Yes.
Tell me what
Yes.
happened.
So we used to go to the same. I think this was an 18 and under, 16 and over club, because I was not 21, so it must
Yeah.
have been either 18 and over or something like that. We were both
Or a crime.
or a crime, or one of those two.
Yeah.
So we're outside. I know that this is after it's closed and everybody's kind of hanging out. I can remember this. I even remember where I was fucking parked. I remember my black Volkswagen Beetle that I had that I got into that night. Like, to this day. So we're outside and we're standing in like a group and he's there and he's like, I don't know, talking to some other people. And he looks, and I'm maybe like 4 people away from him. And he looks over at me and he goes, how much do you weigh? And I was like, what? And I think I said.
Oh my God. I could see you doing that.
Yeah, because I would do that. That is, I would, in this moment, that's my instinct.
You don't have to say it, but do you remember what the number was?
I'm sure, I know that at the time I was around like 175, 180.
Okay.
And I probably said 150. I remember that being like my go-to, like, yeah, we're just going to put it at that.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
And which is so sad, so silly, because at the time I was playing water polo, and that was, now looking back, I know, I remember what my body was like, how strong I was, what I was able to lift. I was solid fucking muscle. My legs were just tree trunks, which is why I did so well on those final challenges and everything, because I had just muscle there.
Yeah.
It's all since gone away after the pandemic and a hysterectomy, but we're getting it back. So I just had to throw that in there. Anyways, he says to me, like, how much do you weigh? And I lie and say 150. And he goes, okay, yeah, because I'm like talking to this one girl and she said she's like, and they gave like a number, and he's like, because you're like about my limit.
Oh my
You're like
God,
about what
Sarah.
I would like, you're about like, right. And I was like,
Did he
I'm
think that was
flattered?
a compliment?
I think
Right.
so. I really do think that he thought that was going to be what, and I think I even remember at the time being like, oh,
I was going to say, were you flattered?
Yeah, I think I was. I think it worked. I was like,
mean-
all right, well, I'm the limit means I'm not out of the equation. All right. Which
So
is
you're
like,
saying there's a chance.
saying there's a chance. Yep, it was like that. So that is my Jeremy Jackson story. Him
Well,
nagging
so then
me.
you just, that was
Man,
the
I
end
have
of
like
it?
a 1 degree. It is so fucking weird.
It's great.
Why?
I love
Why?
it.
The
It's
people I used to hang out
hilarious.
with in the days in LA and in South Orange County.
It's a really good thing I didn't live out there during like
Dude,
from
Suze,
16 to 30.
I would have eaten you alive out there.
I would have gotten into a lot of trouble.
Oh, so much trouble.
Ugh.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
you had to be a little bit like rough around the edge, like little,
yeah, and I was not.
yeah,
Um,
to be from the valley.
during the docuseries, which how great that it's like 4 episodes.
Well, it's all of them in slow motion. So if you cut all that out, it'd actually only be 2 episodes.
Truly, like when I'm watching this, like the same reason that I'm watching the Baywatch documentary is why anyone ever watched Baywatch. I was like, look at their boobs, look at their bodies, look at their muscles.
Right.
They're just so
CJ.
pretty. CJ.
I loved that she had like a boy name too. I was like super into that. Yeah. I was really into girls with boy names. I had a
Yeah, I
counselor
can see
named
that.
Bo. Hello.
Hot.
Also,
Right.
Bo, my dog.
Right.
Yeah,
I hear
Sam.
you.
I love that girl named Joe. I love like any girls with boy
Ambiguously
names.
gay.
I am
You love that.
Yes, that. Okay, there were
Well,
sides.
yeah. Okay, well, at any rate, at some point during the series, he says that he was sort of very much aware of how beautiful everyone was. He was going through puberty,
Oh, of course.
and he did feel like his body was not adequate, and that they were critical of how like chubby. He was never chubby, but they were,
Oh,
you know, they said those things because
they
in
probably said
comparison-
like, "Oh, look at you and your little baby fat" or something like that. That was like a term that people used all the time, and I could
Yeah.
see that. And then him
Yeah.
being like, "What?"
I gotta tell you though, Sarah. I mean, I wouldn't kick him out of bed for eating crackers. I mean, he's
Susie?
looking great. What?
Now,
Yeah, he looks good.
Susie,
Oh
are
my
you
God.
serious?
Do you want him to be ugly or what?
No, I got it. I don't believe it, Jeremy.
Why?
because I see him
Now
as
who's
being one of those
negging whom?
guys who's like all like, you know, the guys who are like too buff and they don't look like they should be, and it looks like maybe this was maybe enhanced in some way by some
That's
sort
not
of.
what's cooking.
Oh,
it's more
not?
like the beard. He has a big bushy beard,
Oh,
but
well,
like
that is,
not
I am into that.
not like ZZ Top level, but like, you know, kind of like more outdoorsy.
Oh, well, we like that.
Yeah, he's looking like, ooh, you're interesting.
Okay. Oh,
See?
well, he's kind of okay. No, see, this because he looks like somebody who listened to the fucking Joe Rogan podcast. I can't with that. That is
Okay.
not attractive to me. Nope. No.
Listen, you're
No.
judging a book by its cover though, because he's like, I think he's sober now. He didn't actually say
Yeah,
that. now
actually,
that
he
I'm
does look.
thinking about it.
He
He
his
looks he's
Instagram does
healthier.
look really healthy and nice.
Well, aside from Hobie, I would still recommend the docuseries, A, because everyone looks great and it's fun to see their boobs and stuff.
Yeah,
But
now
also
that I'm
because
into.
it's just it's actually, as we always say, similar to the challenge,
Right.
where like Baywatch was the #1 global show,
Yeah.
syndicated up the wazoo, subtitles in every country, and then like the actors were given like $300 US. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
what is the deal with that? Was it a time, like an era of television?
They pulled the same shit they did with us. Like, it's exposure. Like, you'll make your money on the back end.
What? That's crazy when you are the actual star of the television show. There is no back end. That is you are
I know. That
in
is
front
crazy.
of the camera. That's
I guess they started to realize, like, what a juggernaut it was.
Yeah.
And then we're like, well, if you don't want it, someone else will do it.
Oh.
And that's how the challenge is.
yeah.
And they're right. It's just unethical and kind of gross. And how did I miss that my beloved Jason Momoa was on Baywatch?
I didn't know that either. And how dare you talk about my beloved like you
He's
own him or
everyone's
something.
beloved.
Right.
My ideal man is somewhere between Jason Momoa and Larry David.
Susie, you and me both.
That's the perfect guy.
Yeah.
I feel
That
like
I
you know.
remember when that I had like submitted to some like matchmaking service a long time ago. Submitted.
I remember that.
Like who
Yeah.
are my ideal guys? And
Yeah.
he was on the list. And so
Jason?
was yes,
Okay.
Jason Momoa, Donald Glover, who's the one I love who's Jewish, and help, Jeff Goldblum. See, I'm
Oh
so bad with
gosh,
names.
yes.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
And
The Jewish thing didn't narrow it down for me because there's so
I
many.
think Mac Miller I put on there too. R.I.P. And
R.I.P.
that, I mean, that is like, they're so different. And
Yeah, like if you combine them though,
yeah, I want that.
dream.
Yeah.
Okay, well you should watch it. It's fun to see. David Hasselhoff
yeah,
is such a goon.
that's
I love
what I want to
it.
know. He's in that. He's
And he's in his 70s. He looks freaking great. Who knew he was 6'5"?
I did.
He's towering. I had no idea.
Yeah. He reminds me of Mark Long,
Absolutely.
right?
Like,
It's the same
yeah.
recipe of a man.
Yeah.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
I don't want to be with him or whatever, but boy, is it entertaining.
And you want to be around him, and you'd love to
Absolutely.
like, yes, I'm with
Good times.
Yep.
Singing on the Berlin Wall
And
with
you're
that
like,
piano
yeah,
scarf.
Right? Yes. And you could see them with somebody, but they'd still love themselves more. They're like,
Absolutely. That is their sexuality, is
yes.
themselves.
So that's the same kind of.
Although I was super into Knight Rider. That might have been one of my first crushes besides
car
Peter
or him?
Brady. Him. I was not into Kit. But I liked that he had Kit.
Yeah.
And that
What
leather
was it? Was it the
jacket.
leather jacket? Yeah.
Yeah, and he was so in control, Sarah.
Yeah. See, I felt like that about MacGyver.
Yeah, Richard Dean Anderson.
I was
What's
like-
that guy doing?
You could fit, and I kind of felt like that too about Walker Texas Ranger.
Oh yeah, Chuck
I used
Norris.
to watch that Chuck Norris, and I was like, I will feel safe with this man.
That's what I was telling Adam. I was explaining how, because he was asking me if I liked any parts of traditional gender roles. You can imagine why he was asking this. And I was like, well, yeah, I love like when I feel protected and this like knight in shining armor is going to like take care of me.
Safe.
I just don't want all the other crap that comes with that.
Right.
Anyway, you should watch it.
I will. I definitely will.
I'll tell you what I'm going to watch, and that is the delivery of Nurture Life yummy meals.
Yum.
Roll up to my house, and I can cook food for kitties because they are delish. We just got a bunch. I was making them for my neighbor.
Oh.
And because we have a little family that lives near us, and they have little kids.
Oh, that's nice.
And I got like Swedish meatballs.
That's the best one.
It's the best.
Those Swedish meatballs are so good.
I mean, delish. I mean, all the meals are great. We got a ton of stuff.
There's another one
Pasta.
that's the, I think it's chicken parm.
Oh, yeah, I got that one.
That's my other one that's my favorite. And it's, the cheese is so good.
And so, you know how like all these meal kits, they're for like grown people.
Right.
And kids are like, get that out of here. And Nurture Life is really made for kids from like 10 months to 10 years. So those picky kids that make you like freaking do all this work and make a million meals.
Yeah.
You can just get this out of the fridge. It's ready in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And it's never frozen unless you choose to freeze it.
Yeah, I throw mine in the freezer, and they taste just as good.
Yeah.
I love it. And, you know, if you have those kids who are like, I don't like any of my food touching, don't worry. They got you covered because it's in little separate sections. And that actually matters. I was just watching a video of a mom who, like, tried to do something cute and combine the food, and the kid was like, nope, I hate it.
Yeah, you're
like,
dead
oh.
to me.
Yeah.
I know. This is raising the standard of children's food. They're going to love it. It's so tasty. I don't even think it should be just for kids.
It's not. I eat it.
It's about time that a flexible meal subscription existed for babies and kids. So head to nurturelife.com. Use code BRAINCANDY for 55% off your first order. That's 55% off. It's their best deal. Once again, that's nurturelife.com for 55% off. Make sure you use our promo code BRAINCANDY so they know we sent you.
Yes.
Okay, move away from... I mean, I could talk about Baywatch all day. Sarah.
Yes,
Please
Susie.
tell me
Yes.
you are watching Chimp Crazy.
Who? What?
Chimp Crazy on HBO Max.
No. Can you tell me what that is? Because that keeps coming up, and I am like, what? Is it
Sarah's like a discerning taste.
a
You're
real...
Like, this seems
is
not
it
for me.
Is it fiction? What?
Oh,
what
no,
is
no,
this?
no.
It's a
From the
documentary?
makers of Tiger King.
What? Okay. Man, that woman, my eyes are bad because that woman looks like Patricia Arquette. And I was like, oh, that's Patricia Arquette as a character in...
You are not wrong.
Does she look like her?
Like on a real bad day.
Right.
Yeah.
A real bad, like if Patricia Arquette's playing
In,
a
like,
character
prosthetic-
actor, like,
yeah.
yes, that's who I thought it was with the
You're
frizzy blonde
right.
hair. And I was like, oh, pass. Didn't even
Oh my
know.
God.
Wow, I got to get my eyes checked.
Well, you're in for a treat because you know how HBO does where they wait a week to like release each one. You can't binge it.
Oh,
So
yes.
you kind of outsmarted the rest of us.
I did.
Because we've been taking it slow over here. And I'm like, come on, give me the next one.
Yeah.
But the gist is, if you're not watching it yet, is that, as you can imagine, the Tiger King guy, Eric Good, he is at it again. And I didn't know this about him, but evidently he was like sort of entrenched in the exotic animal community, which is how he got access to the King of Tigers.
Right. You have to be on the inside. That's
Because
a
they are
whole
very
thing.
distrustful.
Yes. Because they're doing illegal shit.
Yes.
Hello. It's like anything.
Mm-hmm. And they're those people that think like they know the law. They just think that it shouldn't be the law.
Right.
And they're going to do it anyway. And so that's how he started in this. And so then once Tiger King came out, then it really effed up his ability to get inside because everyone was like, how dare you? You made us look like buffoons and caused all these problems in the exotic community. He has a proxy director go in and like be like, what? Do we just want to learn more about chimps?
Yeah.
And so then they build trust and
Okay, because everybody's already on to him.
yeah,
Got
he
it.
is a red flag. Everyone's like, do
Got
not
it.
work with this guy.
Got it. Right. So it's no longer like he has the in anymore. Now he has used his in to make Tiger King, and now people are like, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So the two things that make this interesting, I mean, the whole thing is just like Tiger King, where you know what's not to enjoy, but
It's
the
crazy.
two things that are interesting are number one, the type of person that wants to raise chimps, and who that might be and why. That's interesting.
There's a maternal element to it of I want to make I want to have a baby. I would imagine that it's the same type that wants a forever doll. You know those forever babies dolls?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Where it's like I would like to dress because there's
want
a
to feel
distance,
needed.
but there's a distance.
Yeah, because that chimp it can't ever speak English and say,
Right.
fuck you, you're a loser, like my son will eventually.
You mean personally? Your own
Yeah.
son? Yes, right.
Yeah. Or
Is he at that
everyone
age yet
should.
where he's like, I hate you, you're the worst?
No, but that day
That's
will
amazing.
come.
I hope that he never gets like that.
My God, me too.
Yeah. I think you may have skipped it.
But I think that is a difficult thing for especially moms or the primary caregiver.
Yes.
When you start asserting your own identity and then that bond is changed.
Right.
And so that's what happened to the main lady, the one you're talking about, Patricia Arquette.
Yeah.
She had a couple kids of her. Well, she had a son of her own, but then
That's interesting.
She says she loves the chimps more, though.
Oh, could you imagine if you were these children? Oh, that some therapist is.
Could buy a summer home.
Yep.
With this.
Yep. God,
And
I wish I want
foster
that.
parented 75, I think, kids. This is a woman who really loves to care for kids, and that can be like a really
She fostered children with chimps in the house?
no.
Okay. It was like after. So,
And she started realizing like they all go away and like do their own thing, but I want one forever. Like you want a
See,
baby
it's the forever baby thing.
forever baby.
I'm telling you, or baby alive, or whatever they're freaking called. Mm-hmm. That is the same vibes I'm getting.
And they never tell you you're a loser or like criticize you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which there are elements of that can be therapeutic if you are, but when it crosses over into now you are
pathological.
Yes.
Yeah.
That this is now a problem. Mm-hmm. And dangerous for so many things.
Well,
and
that is
people
the thing.
and
Those
animals.
cute chimps in their little diapers and riding bicycles and stuff. Well, those bastards hit puberty, and next thing you know, they're ripping your fucking face off.
Right. That I heard that. I know that story.
Yeah.
That
And
I
it's in
remember
there.
that is
horrific.
planted in there from my childhood. That when that happened, I must have been about 8, 9, 10, something around that. Like,
Yeah.
I really remember, and it was the same time, not the same time, but my mom has a friend who in their lived right down the street from her, Lisa, and
Shout out to Lisa.
I almost said her last name, but I'm like, I won't call her out like that. But like she's just a victim in the story, and a person on the block had a tiger in their house.
Oh my!
And the
What
tiger
is your
got out,
life?
and this was in Topanga Canyon in like the 70s, late 70s, and she was a kid in probably 60s, like in California, in like Hollywood, whatever, and somebody had a fucking tiger. It got out and mauled her. I saw them. She has the scars like all down her neck and her back, and
I'm so glad she survived.
I know, me too. I'm gonna ask my mom to like hit her up and send me the photos of those things. Like,
Are they still friends?
I think they gotta be.
Yeah.
They've been friends since they were children.
That is crazy. I do not understand how people are allowed to do this craziness.
And do you remember, I think it was Ohio, there was
that zoo thing.
Yeah, and like all of them broke loose and they never even recovered one of the chimps. Like that chimp is just like out there. I don't know, who knows what happened to him. And and they all got out, lions, tigers, just they had to put up those signs in the streets, like beware of wild, loose, exotic animals. No, thank you. I don't know why people feel the need to do this and why it's legal. That is the problem, that there's no reason why we should be keeping animals that aren't domesticated as pets. It's actually crazy.
That's why all these exotic people, though, hate Eric, the Tiger King director, because he keeps shedding light on their dysfunction, and then they change the laws.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want me to say? If this were like the time of pre-seatbelts and you started doing a documentary on how seatbelt, like people are dying because they're getting thrown out of cars, I could see the car manufacturers being like, you're really like cramping our style. Now we got to put seatbelts in there. Like the traditional car people like, why do I got to do this? Well, 'cause people are dying, you idiots. Sorry. You can't have exotic animals that rip your face off. I'm sorry. You just can't.
When I was a kid, my grandpa Meister, he, when they were done with their car, they would give it to us. So, like, we would have all these old jalopies, and he would have gone in and ripped out all the seatbelts because he hated them so much.
Okay, see, I knew there were these guys out there. Your grandpa is this guy I'm talking about. And also, do you call him Grandpappy? What just happened there?
Grandpa.
Okay. That's a Pittsburgh thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the old Rust Belt.
Yeah.
Grandpa Meister did not like seatbelts. Safety second in the Meister family.
Could you imagine being like, I'm going to cut the safety harnesses out, the safety restraints out of this vehicle to put my family more at risk?
Yeah.
Out of spite.
I am lucky to be alive.
You really are.
Okay, anyway, the second thing that makes this interesting to me is that the nature of the narrative is that this lady, Patricia Arquette, is helping this woman run her quote-unquote sanctuary, but it's really just like a bunch of chimps in cages. Right. And PETA gets involved, and eventually they're like, you have to move all these chimps to an actual sanctuary. Right. But there's this one chimp that Patricia, I wish I could remember her real name, but she's Patricia now. Tonka is the chimp's name, who is special. There's always a special one. Right. And whenever PETA moves all these chimps, Tonka's missing. And Patricia says he's deceased.
Oh, yeah, right.
And so, spoiler if you haven't watched it, Tonka is not deceased.
Right. What do they call that when you're fakes his own death? I don't know why. I was like, what? There's a phrase for. I just could. My brain. I don't know what is that called? What do you? Yeah. I kept on wanting to say insurance fraud, but that was not.
Yes, close though. Right. And so the director, Eric, had to make a decision. Am I going to just document this and not get involved, or am I going to turn her in? And so that's the kind of interesting part to me about the film in terms of ethics. It's like, what is the ethical thing for a documentarian to do?
This is like the forever debate.
Yeah. And so what do you think is the right thing to do?
You know what? When it comes to animals, intervene.
And kids. And
kids. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And people, the vulnerable parties. If it's like, it would be different if it's an adult, like.
Yeah.
I always think this with the show Intervention. that, you know,
Yeah.
when those are adults making adult decisions, and you have to just let them. But if it's a situation where there's a vulnerable party that's being used or abused or in danger, I think I would do something.
I'll tell you what I would do, and that is put on my Thrive Cosmetics. In fact, Sarah
hello.
is wearing Linda today.
Yeah, look at that.
If you
No
watch the video-
transfer.
Yeah.
My lips do not feel dry. This stuff is, I just got it, and I love a good red. I mean,
You look amazing.
I am obsessed. This is the best red, and
It looks
does
so
not
good
move.
on you.
And it goes on so smooth. I love the application. Why were lipsticks ever made in that weird shape? That doesn't make sense.
You've always hated that.
Yeah, give me a pencil, like something that there's some control over.
Yeah,
so
she's
I love
wearing
it.
the new Empower Matte Precision Lipstick Crayon in color Linda.
Yep.
But you know how we love the mascara. Come on.
I'm using
eye brightener?
only everything
Yeah.
I have is Thrive.
Forever. Yeah. The compliments are abundant.
Yeah.
It's flattering, and they donate to communities in need. We love that. Refresh your everyday look with Thrive Cosmetics. Beauty that gives back. Right now, you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/braincandy. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/braincandy for 20% off your first order. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
I am loving this lip stuff.
It looks good.
I love it so much.
What do you think the ethics are, though, of like having people consent to participate under false pretenses?
Oh.
That part.
Wait, what do you mean? Because this director's fake? Like how?
Because, they're like, oh, here's this. I just love animals. When really it's like, you're the Tiger King guy.
How is any other undercover work going to get?
I don't think that most people see documentaries as
Right.
undercover.
I don't either. But it's not, false pretenses feels like legal jargon. Like if you're doing a sting operation or something
entrapment.
like that. Yeah, that's not language that, there's no contract you're going into with people, because people are allowed to lie all the time. If that were the case, then you could be like, well, I'm going to, my partner who said they were, I don't know, X, Y, and Z, like did whatever.
So you think everything in life is a false pretense?
I think that there's no, people are, as somebody who is not, I would say like is an honest person, and I wouldn't call myself like a liar or deceiver. I have learned that the rules that I think are applying to me, or that the way that I am carrying on is not how other people are. That other people are.
Yeah, I just told you that recently. I was like,
Yes.
Sarah, you are operating under a totally different set of standards.
And so now I'm real, and now I'm like, okay, everybody's bullshit.
Yeah, because if everyone's lying and you're telling the truth, then it's uneven.
Right.
Okay.
So
Got it. So you say all's fair.
I
Because you
think
maybe
that,
think that ends justify the means.
yeah, in this way. I mean, can
Tonka
you
would probably
imagine
agree.
anybody doing that to expose something positive? No, it's always to expose
Right.
something, right? So that's kind of where that's how I look at it. This kind of feels the same as like, if I mean, it's not really the same, but this is where my mind goes. That if you are in a relationship with, when I was in a relationship with somebody and they were up to no good, and I had to go snoop in order
Oh, yeah.
to find out,
Yeah.
I'm not
then
in
the
the
Snoopy
wrong.
is always
Right.
like trying to turn it into like, why did
Right.
you look in my phone? Yeah.
And I say to that, I could go to therapy for 20 years and be the best at therapy ever, ever, ever. And even after all of that self-work, if I had those feelings, I would still go snoop. But if you go to therapy for a really long time and work on yourself, you probably wouldn't be a cheater. You probably wouldn't be do that bad thing. So that's how I look at it. Is like that person is doing something unlawful,
You're
illegal.
exposing something that is like revealing their like deepest insecurity, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So I think that it kind of like the ends justify the means sort of thing. Like that if you're having to do something, like if you were just running around being like coercing anybody into like starting a documentary under false pretenses or whatever with no goal to expose something or for the greater good, then yeah, what the fuck are you doing? But if it's to ultimately
I see. So you're saying you must be duplicitous you have to play their game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is a simpler way to put it. Yes. You have to play their
Beat
game
them at their own game.
and if they weren't playing that game, then I wouldn't have to do the deceitful behavior, like snooping or get like false pretenses, getting you to like. Nobody who's doing the right thing is like, oh my God, I can't believe that you got me under false pretenses and then exposed what a great human I am. That's never happened.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe that you like found. No. So that's, you know what I mean?
Well, you need to watch it.
I definitely will. Now that I know what it's about, please, Tiger King for her.
That is such a good way to put it. Wait, I gotta write that down. Tiger King for her pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. A brainiac alerted me that there was a new documentary on Netflix about those bozos who go up on rooftops and take pictures, like hanging off buildings.
Oh my God.
It's called
hate this.
Skywalkers.
Nope. No.
And
Why?
the framework is about this man and woman that do it. And so it's called Skywalkers, a love story.
Okay.
And you just follow them on their ridiculous, death-defying escapades and then how it affects their relationship.
Who would you say is leading this? Like, who is the ringleader?
Between the two?
Yes.
Well, okay. So the woman, they're both Russian, and she grew up in a circus family.
Okay.
So she thinks it's almost like her family business, which it's like me and gambling. And drinking. Okay, so she was doing it already.
Okay.
And then he's doing it already, and he's the most successful person in the country doing it. And so she is approaching all these men that do it and being like, hey, let's work together. And none of them said yes. And they didn't want the liability of like some weakling. You know, that's their perception.
Interesting.
But she was like, listen, you can't get sponsors as easily without me, so you should do it. And so this guy said, okay. And then they fell in love. And I guess I would say he
fell in love, or is that just one
transfer
big
of arousal.
transfer of arousal? 100%
Yeah. Well, and it is sexy. I get it.
Right, but
I felt like I fell in love.
I wonder how the relationship is when you take away the extreme
yeah.
What happens if they weren't able to do that together for a year? somebody gets injured
Well, and
or
that
somebody.
they do cover that because during the pandemic, they lost all their partnerships because most of them were like travel
Yeah.
companies, and they did not thrive.
Yeah.
And they had like one big thing planned that was like make or break. If we do this, then we're getting back together. And so you have the element of like the scary footage that is horrifying.
Horrifying.
But then you do have like the relationship elements that are relatable in the ways that like humans interact with each other. But there is a moment when they accomplish their goals where you do kind of feel like it's like a feat of athleticism.
Right. Well, it is.
Yeah.
And
endurance.
It absolutely is.
Conquering fear. But then you have to like check yourself and be like, this is insane.
Right. Right. It's that it can easily go from type 2 to type 3 fun real fast. And I think that when you don't have and for people who don't know what I mean by that, type 2 is like doing something like type 1 fun is no danger. Type 1 fun is
baking cookies,
listening to a fun podcast, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Type 2 fun is snowboarding, doing something fun, but with an element of danger. Like, oh, we could get hurt, but there's some excitement in that, and it's like safe danger.
But it's safe, yeah.
And type 3 fun is, holy fuck, we just survived that, and we are like lucky to have survived that. And then looking back, there's like, it was like fun because we survived, but holy crap, I never want to do that again. And that it is too easy to go from type 2 to type 3, and you don't have enough control in those situations no matter what. I can't watch any of those things like Man on Wire, all that stuff, and the French guy who climbs up the buildings, and I think a lot of them are French, or it's the same guy, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I just saw a video of that French guy get to the very top of this building, and then he got stuck, and he had to down climb for like 20
that
something
looks worse
stories.
to me.
It is worse.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I can't handle. No. I can't.
Well, yeah, because everything in our bodies and minds says this is unsafe. Do not do this. And those clowns push through it.
I've even heard that is, so when you get to an edge and you have this fear, that wave of like, what if I just jump off? And that feeling?
Yeah.
That is biologically in there to remind you that you shouldn't. That we have become so comfortable with the edge and knowing that we won't, that our brain needs to refresh our memory that it's scary, that it needs to like let us know. It's almost saying, what would you do right here? Let's just double check. And it gives us that information so that we can confirm that we are safe in a weird way.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't do that, remember? You're like, oh, yeah, well, obviously. Like, okay. And the brain's like, whew, good, just checking. I'm like, I didn't need that, brain. But that's what it does that. So.
Yeah, I wasn't good at jump.
Right. And I'm like, I don't want, it is in there to not be close to edges. And those people are messing with what's right.
I'll tell you what's right, and that is taking vitamins every day. And that's what we do thanks to Ritual.
I love it. Do you see my video of me filling up my vitamin thing with my Hyacera, with my probiotic, and my daily multi? And I have been on that. I never forget a day also because I get, reminders from all the little robots in my house and everything.
Yeah.
But I feel so like I'm crushing adulting.
Yes, and you are.
When I take my vitamins every day.
Yep. And we've been doing this for like 9 years.
I know.
Sarah and I. And
yes.
I am able to do it because they taste great. It's not those gross kind. And they don't make my stomach upset. They have the Hyacera, which is great for skin. I'm on the skin journey, so that's important. And then, of course, the protein. It's all great. Start Hyacera to help minimize wrinkles without compromising on clean science. Hyacera from Ritual is a clinically proven skin supplement you can actually trust because they have third-party verification.
Yes.
Get 25% off your first month for a limited time at ritual.com/braincandy. Start Ritual or add Hyacera to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/braincandy for 25% off. I love their stuff.
I do too. The best.
I expected a little bit more of that vibe that we got though from Free Solo, where it's just like the adrenaline addiction, which I think is a real thing. And if your brain chemistry is different, you need more to get that feeling. It felt more to me like people, it's very relatable. The feeling of you want to matter. You want to do something special. You want to do something other people can't do or don't do.
Totally.
More of that vibe than sort of like, let's jump off a building.
Okay.
Yeah. And like that is relatable because I've always wanted that. I want to be extraordinary and excellent.
I think, Suze, I think there's a lot to that you can get really deep with that. I was just reading an article about how we have a decline in the population and the number of people who are choosing to have children is at its lowest it's been in a long time. And this is like globally it's happening. And the article was talking about how the change in meaning, that what brings people purpose and meaning, that for a long time there was this belief that kids were that one source, almost only source of meaning. And now we've expanded the ways that we can find meaning in life. And it's almost like with the growth of the wellness industry and the like self, like identity and you know, what life do I want to live? That this is kind of a result of that people chasing meaning. Do you think
that that's good?
I think it's good, but there are unintended consequences for anything that things that we don't think are going to happen. And
it wasn't just kids though, Sarah. I mean, it's the decline in participation in religion as well.
Yeah.
People used to get a lot of meaning from these religious philosophies and the community of your religious tradition. Right. That is now just like an empty hole in your heart or whatever.
And we need that. We need meaning. We need connection. We need community.
Yeah.
And I can see people finding that in fringe groups and in extreme, like going
extreme behavior.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I think it all kind of ties together.
I get it. I guess I expected more of judgment on my part when really I was like, okay, this is extreme and I can't imagine ever wanting to do this, but like I can see what drives somebody to do it.
Relatable. Okay,
because you want to be special.
Yeah, I did not find that when I watched like Man on Wire and that.
No.
Or like the Alex Honnold Free Solo. That felt like a drive, like a compulsion almost. You know what I mean?
Both of those felt more of like a spectrum situation.
Yeah.
Like, which is not relatable to me.
Yeah, right. Okay, I think you're right. Yes. Interesting. Oh, I can't wait to watch this now.
Yeah, it's really beautifully shot, and it is terrifying, but it's cool. It is. I hate to say that because I thought I was going to be judging not just them, but like the fact that they even made the film felt wrong. Yeah.
Okay, this is a surprise.
So see what you think. See what you think.
All right, I love that.
Okay. Next up, thank you to the Brainiac who sent me the following story. Oh, it was Christy, actually. Remember Christy went to the, what would you call that event? We went to the we were supposed to be there like as reality people, and then it was like us and Meister Belding.
They called it like Reality Bash or something like that.
And God bless Christy the Brainiac. She was there to support us through that nightmare. At any rate, she sent this to me. A doctor was reprimanded for performing too many digital rectal exams.
Get out. Stop it. He's like, I got a specialty.
I'm just really good at this.
When you're good, you're good. You know what? They say when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
I'm dying.
That might be my bet. That might be the best one.
Oh. I think you're right, Sarah. I think that's what was cooking here.
Oh, that is very funny. Yeah.
Okay, so the deal is...
This is like a foot fetish. This is like guy working at Nordstrom's shoe department. What? What's wrong with this? What? You don't... Why is that different? Or even funny? That I am spitting facts.
It's so funny because it's so right, and I never would have thought of it. And so then I can't get myself together. Okay. So the deal is that this doctor, somebody called in like a complaint. I don't even know who you complained to, but they were like, they have had it up to here.
Up to here. You guys can't see the video version, but I put up one finger and about as deep as you'd imagine a finger would go. I'm just doing this to make Susie laugh, like make it so she can't get herself together, and that's what I live for. So I hope you just enjoy this with me.
Oh God, hold on. Okay. So they decided they had to reprimand him, and that's a quote, for performing frequent unnecessary digital rectal exams and using an outdated historic technique with the patient lying face upward.
Face up? Face up? Oh, face up and then legs up. Like us. Like the old pap smear position, right? Guys, I've lost her. She can't. She says I have to stop. Like, it's not my job to be on air.
Okay.
Now I want to demonstrate it.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so like I imagine
Yes.
it was like pap smear scenario.
Yeah.
And then they penalized him $2,000 and
He's like, worth it. Okay. The going rate for that on the street.
and that he has to take ethics training on maintaining patient boundaries and a review course on the proper way to perform a digital exam at his own expense.
Okay.
As if there's any chance, like, he doesn't know that. All right, we had to pull the plug on that because I was out of control.
My actual plug was pulled.
That's what
like my battery died on my computer, which sounds like a crazy thing to happen, but it's because I lost a port with my new amazing camera. But
Sarah's claiming that her computer died, so
you're crazy.
But I think it's because I couldn't get a hold of myself.
It could be that.
And
you
guess
pulled
what?
the plug.
I don't care because that was so funny to me.
It was.
But just to wrap up that conversation.
And like, I have to, all jokes aside, that is sexual assault. I mean, it is funny because we know that this is the show that's the number one for your number two stories. So we have to make a joke out of it because it's funny. And,
it's not funny that this happened
but
to
it
anyone.
is really not funny that there is a doctor who is taking advantage of people in this way, especially when they're going in for something and then getting the same thing that they're going in for in a different package, Like, that is not the right way to do that. And that's really preying on people's... Oh, excuse me, I just burped because I'm drinking wine.
So,
they're preying on people's in their most vulnerable place, and doctors should not be doing that. And the fact that he didn't lose his license is crazy. That only $2,000 fine is nuts.
No, he did. I think, let me see.
No, you said
right.
$2,000
Yeah, he just got
fine, and he had to
reprimanded.
go to those classes.
Yeah, you're right.
That's sexual assault. You should not be. You should not be practicing.
Well, they investigated, and maybe they didn't conclude that it was assault. It was just like excessive rectal exams. Like
okay, I see. You're right. Okay, so then I feel a little better about making a joke about it.
It's so hard for me to accept.
Right.
That someone would be like, you know what I want to do right now? Stick my fingers in a stranger's
No, that's a
butthole.
power thing. That I think it also is power. That's
You're
power.
right,
We know
Sarah.
that.
You're right.
This is power, and then that's why it's abusive, and that's why he should get his license taken away, because at the end of the day, he's a predator with a fetish,
Okay, listen.
a preference.
I know that Sarah is really nice, and she does not like to make jokes about serious things, but that, for the rest of us, is a coping strategy.
It's also for me. I just like to also provide.
You want to be professional and
the
respectful.
You know,
it's so nice, but it is also very, very funny.
It is. Both things can be true, right?
The thing that is making it impossible for me to get past it is the add it up to here.
Right. Okay. And then during our break, I sent Susie a photo of me doing the same motion, and then
like I had to text you something else totally unrelated, and then I saw the picture again.
I'm just gonna periodically send it to you, and or I'm gonna do. When you go to the fair and they have those wax molds where you can make your hand in a position and then dip it into the wax molds. What if I did that for you? Made it as a candle or something. Sent it to you.
Sarah, don't do it. I will.
I will. I should write this down or I'll forget. This is my ADHD
abs
comes up
hurt.
with good ideas. But then send Susie hand candle.
A finger mold.
Finger candle. This is the funny thing is I'm going to find this note 6 months from now and I'm going to be like, what the fuck finger mold do I need to make? What? Bunny ears? Who knows? Well, it'll be like, we have no
All
idea.
right. Listen, thanks for the laughs. Okay, so we talked about the Baywatch documentary, which is easy watching. Then
And Chimp
Crazy.
Lady.
Chimp
Crazy.
Crazy on Max. Unbelievable. You
Crazy.
have to watch it.
I honestly thought it was a TV, like a
That makes it even funnier.
right. Well, I thought it was the story of the woman who got her face ripped off, as played by Patricia Arquette. Which I'm sorry, but this should still get made, and she should still play that woman. I don't even know what that woman looks like, but I'm think that this would be very funny and good and great.
You're so right.
I know.
Yeah. It's like the staircase, but Chimp
Yes,
Crazy.
thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, that we need that. Yes, exactly.
Okay, then Skywalker's doc. It was really good. I didn't think I'd feel that way, but I did. I really liked it. And then and then a doctor performed too many butt exams. So anyway, thanks for listening.
And
to
we'll
the
see you
show.
next time.
Please use our codes, because let's face it, I am never going to be able to get another job after this.
Right.
And
We need
I'm
it.
counting on you, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.